Hey, Shalom, I want to start off as always by giving all praise to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kadash, double honors to the apostles of GMS, and honors to you brothers doing the work in truth, while sincerity. Right, this is on the news that catastrophe as France's bird population collapses due to pesticides. Right, brother sent this in the chat today, and was fitting, especially yesterday. I did a video on the last white rhino. One of the things that I wanted to get into is basically how Esau has destroyed a whole load of animals. During his rulership, a whole load of animals have gone extinct or on the verge of extinction due to this man's activities, right? And obviously this guy's using pesticides because he's an absolute idiot. Right, you have pesticides and herbicides. For instance, weeds perform a very integral part of of your in the world, because weeds tell you that your land isn't fertile. Right now, weeds pop up because they have long roots, so their roots can go right down deep into the soil where there's more nutrients and more moisture, and bring it up closer to the surface. Right, all you end up having is, because people aren't following the rules like the land Sabbath, right? Basically, the land is just through. It's completely through. Right, the land isn't getting the proper nutrients that it needs. Right, therefore the fruit that it gives isn't as good. Right, therefore when we eat that food is is just through. Right, it hasn't got as much nutrients. Some of these pesticides and herbicides, get into the food, and then we're eating it and getting sick and dying of cancer, right? But who can we thank? Oh, thou wise one, Mr. Esau, right? This is Ezekiel 4:13. Says, and Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. Right, and the fact that it's GMO, it's GMO because the land is through. The land is damaged because it's been using pesticides. But of course there is the the impact that it has on the ecosystem, on the, for instance in this case, on the birds that that rely on the flies. I can't speak today, so on the flowers, on the herbs, on the grass, and all of that. For instance, bee populations are going down, and this is saying dozens of species have seen their numbers decline, in some cases by 2/3, because insects they feed on have disappeared. Right, and yeah, it's a natural process, but Esau wants to put his dirty paws in the middle of it to correct something that wasn't broken. Right, yesterday I brought out about the northern white rhino, last male Sudan dies in Kenya. Right, now they're saying the only hope is for IVF. Right, and all these things are happening during Esau's Esau's rulership. Right, so Scientific American says the dodo may soon have some August company. I hate websites like this. Right, just give me the data, right? So you got rhinos, you got that, you got those bats. It's not even telling me the name of the fucking animal, right? But you can see, you can see them yourselves. It's a shit website. It's form over function, right? See if this one Right, it says Earth has lost half of its wildlife in past 40 years, and this article goes back all the way to 2014. Right, so species across land, rivers, and seas decimated as humans kill for food in unsustainable numbers and destroy habitats. And don't try to say humans, Esau, it's you, the so-called white man. Don't try now lump everyone into this. Right, you're the one who. Who's in power right now. All of these things are happening under your rulership. You think under our rulership this will be happening? Hell no. Right, It says it's time to shout stop on this war on the living world. And you see that, you got loads of, it says rubbish dumped on the tundra outside, can't pronounce it, Lulisat in Greenland, stand in stark contrast to icebergs behind from the Semek Kujulat or Lulisat ice fjord, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, right? It's basically, look at us. It didn't look like this before. The world was beautiful, right? When the East was destroyed, the world is going to return to being Idan, meaning beautiful. That's, the garden eastward in Eden, right? Eden was the whole earth, from the Hebrew word Idan, meaning paradise, right? What else have we got here? What are the headlines? It says these animals went extinct in the last 100 years. No, why? Yeah, Esau. Right, this is, but also you gotta also understand as well as the way Esau classifies animals, and all of that. Esau classify, a pig into 3 different types of pig, but pig is a pig, right? Let's just carry on, right? This is how did they become extinct? Because of Esau, right? So you got the Cape Verde giant skink, canary and black oyster catcher, a laughing owl, a passenger pigeon, a Carolina parakeet, a Barbary lion, a Bubar hartebeest, a Caucasian wisent, a crescent nail-tail wallaby, right, a paradise parrot, a Syrian wild ass, right? It says the thick-billed ground dove, Darwin's Galapagos mouse, heath hen, Hawaii o, indefatigable Galapagos, indefatigable Galapagos mouse is a difficult word, desert rat kangaroo, Ryukyu wood pigeon, Tasmanian wolf, Bali tiger, Grand Cayman thrush, Schmoberg's deer, Roque Chico de Salma giant lizard, the desert bandicoot, Tulash wallaby, Lyson rail, Wake Island rail, thick-tailed chub, Caribbean monk seal, Little Swan Island hootie. The list just keeps going. Caspian tiger, South Island piopio, Santo Stefano lizard, right? Arabian ostrich, Guam flying fox, Tecopa pupfish, bush wren, Javan tiger, Japanese sea lion, Round Island burrowing boa, Colombian grebe, Marina millard, Formason clouded leopard, Guam flycatcher, Alayotra grebe, Hawaiian thrush, Aldabra bush warbler, Crogasta escasses, dusky seaside sparrow, Kwai. I don't know how to say that word. Am I going around? This is Atitlan Grabe 104, golden toad, Pyrenean ibex, West black rhinoceros. Right, one of the things, I was reading for a fucking long time, right? And that's just saying just in the last 100 years. Right, and Esau's been in power for 4. Right, this is deforestation. This is a non-linear relationship exists between land area and the number of species residing in that area. Smaller the area, the less number of species it will support, and vice versa. Deforestation has shrunk the green zone of the planet, which in turn has resulted in loss of habitat of several species of plants and animals. As a result, animals now have to venture out of their set zones in search of food, which in turn make them vulnerable to life-threatening conflict with mankind. Right, and also means if animals are moving away, then the animals that maybe feed on them, basically they will, the balance just gets upset. He's also, global warming and hunting. Right, so who's responsible for all of this? Esau, right? Because he's in rulership. Right, he's in rulership, so it's on him. Right, this website. If you ever get these websites, man, you can just delete that shit. Listen, I ain't fucking Right, it says 12 rare animals that are teetering on the brink of extinction. Right, the Bornean orangutan. Pika does want to show us the image, yeah, Pika. A giant otter. Right, this is an Amur leopard. Black-footed ferret. Darwin's fox. Sumatran rhinoceros. A white-rumped vulture. A pangolin. A sawola. A vaquita. A Peruvian black spider monkey. Right, you know, more animals that are what you call on the brink of extinction because of the current rulers. Right, and you know, all of these animals have their beauty, and all of these animals have their purpose on the earth. Right, because when the Lord made the earth, He made it in its perfection. You know, and if you want to get technical, when the Lord gave the command to make the earth, He made it. It was made in its perfection. Right, it says Sirach 39:33 says, all the works of the Lord are good, and He will give every needful thing in due season. Right, so all the works of the Lord are good, and Esau's gone around basically destroying that work, you know, to its perfection. Right, so Isaiah 24:5 it says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinances, broken the everlasting covenant. Right, you know, and the earth is defiled at the moment. Right, so Revelation 11:18 says, and the nations were angry, and their wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged. And thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great. And here's the point: and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Right, so you ask yourselves, why does America have to be destroyed? Why do the Edomites have to be destroyed? Look at the world. Look at the oceans. Look at everything that's happened under this man's rulership. Right, we watch that, you know, Blue Planet 2. Always talk about it, man. You see how Esau's affected places where man can't even live. Right. I read that, yeah, and I think it's fitting to end on this, because of all the animals Esau is making extinct, he's the one that's gonna go extinct. Right, it says Obadiah 1:18 says, in the house of Jacob shall be a fire, the house of Joseph a flame, the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it. Right, so Esau, you know, the Edomites, so-called white man, the ones that go back to the man Esau, because you always have to say you got our people that will look like Edomites, and vice versa. You have Edomites that look like our people. But the house of Esau, all the Edomites after 1,000 years of slavery are gonna be burnt up, man. They're gonna be burnt up. They're gonna be killed off, and they shall none remain. Right, so that whole line will be cut off, because there'll be no need. The kingdom is gonna be good and beautiful. And what does Esau bring? Wickedness. Right, there isn't, you know, there will be no need for Esau in the kingdom. Therefore, you know, you get rid of him. Right, so yeah, Lord's always been edified. Like I said, I just wanted to. This was more, you know, just reading and stuff. You know, just because you know, I did say yesterday I wanted to go into this. But yeah, I mean, this website here, I'll pop it in the description, and yeah, you can go through it. Look, I said, Lord's will, you're edified. And that, I'm gonna say shalom.